Hello and welcome back to the Rival Recap Show, Week 11. We're here to talk Gentlemen's Club football all day, all the time, guys. And you can see I'm lounging, I'm relaxing, it's my week off. I'm here to give you guys the intro, I'm here to give you guys the quick hits, and then I'll be back at the end for the scenarios because this is the people's episode. Okay, three very nice members of our league volunteered to take some segments of the program so I could focus on the scenarios as well as next week's video. And I'm very appreciative, so I only have to record just a little bit. And without further ado, we're going to get into the quick hits, guys. NFL.com 6-1 in their predictions this week. Awesome stuff from those guys over at NFL.com. Really just hats off to you. High score of the week, Joe. I think it was like 154 points. Crazy. His team has been absolutely tearing it up. Low score of the week, Tony Marullo, 70 points for the Goopy Boys. Jarek McKinnon absolutely screwing him. Joe really laid it out perfectly in the group me as to what happened. I didn't actually catch that at the end of that game. I think I fell asleep. And wow, that is just miserable for Tony. And you know what, Tony? You're paying out the long 20 as you had the lowest score. And who are you paying it to? Paying it to Joe. Tony Pollard, 68-yard touchdown. Oof. So yeah, you did low score. You have to pay Joe, one of your rivals in this league. Brutal. Mr. Long 20 himself can confirm, but I don't think Cordero Patterson's 103-yard kick return touchdown counts. I'm pretty sure we established no special teams, but if that's the case, then Tony, you pay Eric, but I'm pretty sure you're paying Joe. And Tony Pollard, on top of that, not only gets the long 20 win, he had 36 points, high start of the week. Good for you with Tony Pollard. And low score of the week, Rondell Moore, negative 0.6 for, I believe, Kevin Lamb. Miserable. One play, goes out of the game. I don't know if you guys saw that thing on, I think Barstool probably posted it, that guy that, was up by a point, less than a point, started Rondell Moore, that was his only player left, lost. Horrible, absolute nightmare scenario. Glad it didn't happen even in our league. And the high bench of the week, Palmer from the Chargers, who now has a new home with the Mormon Soakers after a trade last night. Spencer was on the move for trades. He gathered up a couple of running backs, and he really solidified his starting lineup and his team, guys. So that's it for the quick hits. Before I send it over to our next GC member, I just wanted to address some things. My NFL fandom gets called out more often than it should. One, why does anyone give a shit? And two, I am a Jets fan, but I live in Baltimore and I support the Ravens. But you know what? After all this slander that I'm hearing from fellow Jets fans of all people that are telling me I'm not allowed to be a Jets fan anymore, that is fucked. Johnny and Charlie specifically, I think Spencer mostly kept his mouth shut. So guys, if the Jets-Ravens play in Baltimore on wildcard weekend, guess who's getting my fourth seat? Spencer fucking Sklar is getting first dibs, I'll tell you that much. But anyway, guys. So, I'm not allowed to be a Jets fan. I'm not a true Ravens fan. Well, then who cares at this point? You know what? Maybe I'll just move to fucking Miami. Maybe I'll buy fucking Dolphins season tickets. Fucking rep them. Hard Rock Stadium's sick. I love Tyreek Hill. Why the hell not? Or you know what? Fuck it. Maybe I'll just go cross town in New York and become a fucking Giants fan, right? Huh? You like that, Joe? No, fuck that. I could never do that. And you know what also? My high school was the Patriots, and we ripped off their logo and just changed the colors. Nah, I could never do that. Those guys are chode gobblers. They gobble chodes for a living, and they know how to make New York Jets quarterbacks look like shit. So Sam Darnold was seeing ghosts. Zach Wilson is absolutely miserable against them and does not take responsibility. I digress because, as I said, I'm not allowed to be a Jets fan anymore. So why do I even bother talking about it, guys? But hey, I'm very happy that we have three members this week for the Rival Recap Show. I'm going to send it over to the first one, who, guys, is a very well-liked member in our league. Very humble. I don't know if anyone's ever had anything bad to say about this guy. So I'm really excited to send. Fuck you, guys. None of you pricks meet that description, first of all. And second of all, I'm going to send it over to Mr. Superlative.
Hurts will run, takes it in, touchdown. Nothing in front of him except the end zone.
Well, this is my guest appearance on the Rival Recap Show. Thank you, Marsh, for the send over. I'm going to do a quick trade deadline primer because I find that shit hella exciting. Quickly to respond to Joe's safe space suggestion so he doesn't go on another stupid rant on his show. Yes, he does unfortunately have the best team because of some fucking retarded trades that people have given him. It's honestly ridiculous that Lynch allowed Joe to get Pat Mahomes. That stack he has with Kelsey it makes him the most dangerous team in the league. And then the whole Pollard for Dillon trade was very sketchy from the beginning. Brass, yeah, he's been willing and dealing. A lot of them have been bad trades. Some of them have been okay. I guess that's what happens when you're very active. But Joe has the best team. The only other one I'm really interested in answering is what I'm thankful for, and obviously that answer is Jalen Hurts. He's the leader of the Eagles, the leader of the city of Philadelphia, the leader of Opium FC, and he's pretty much Michael Weston's father because he decided to not throw to Devontae Smith in the red zone and clinched the dub for me. So overall, very, very happy about that. Yeah, so let's just get straight into what I want to get into this trade deadline primer because I'd say that actually the number one reason of why I really enjoy this league is how many trades there are. In my opinion, trades is the highest skill required. In any aspect of fantasy football. Like, for example, right in the draft, when you're taking your players, you are somewhat chained down by what the average draft position is, by the charts you get, where in reality, when you're trading, for instance, every value is set individually by each player in the league. Everyone has their own value. So it leaves negotiations. It leaves risk tolerance. Being the main things at play, which to me is very interesting, and it leads to very high volatility in trades. And sometimes the best players can shine through, and you can either win the league or you can lose the league with trades. So it's going to be very exciting. Pretty much everyone has the opinion that trades helps your team, except for James Ortiz, who makes the same mistake every year. He starts out well, and then he doesn't make a trade, and then he ends up completely shitting the bed and having a terrible end to the year, which may or may not happen this year. I respect sticking with your guns with his players, but I still think he has to make a move. At some point, you have to go all in somewhere, make a play. I think he should have moved one of his two running backs a while ago, but that could just be me saying I've been trying to get those from them for a long time. But I do respect sticking to his guns. Like I said, you can win a league or you can lose a league with a trade. I did once win a league by absolutely raping Charlie by taking advantage of injuries and must wins by trading him. Essentially, Mike Gillislee and some bombs for Dak Prescott and Des Bryant, who was injured at the time. So that did win me the league. I lost the league, actually, the year Weston won. I would have won the league if I didn't make a trade involving Aaron Jones to get A.J. Green. I was sick of Mike McCarthy and Aaron Jones being in a timeshare with Jamal Williams. If I kept Aaron Jones in that scenario, everyone knows I love to handcuff, and I would have handcuffed Aaron Jones with Jamal Williams, and Weston would have not picked up Jamal Williams to win the championship with a 30-something point performance from Jamal Williams because of the Aaron Jones injury. So I would have actually been playing Jamal Williams that weekend, won the week. So it can go either way. You never know what's gonna happen, but in my opinion, you gotta fucking shoot your shot. You gotta stick your foot out and say, this is what I'm fucking doing. I don't care what happens. And stick to your guns. Make a play. It's same thing in baseball. You don't want to go down looking at the fucking ball going right down the pipe, which James Ortiz tends to do every fucking year. However, you don't want to do what certain people have done, like, for example, Charlie this year, who essentially swung at a slider that was completely out of the strike zone by about 4 feet. The one thing I did want to go over here was the summary of what Charlie's actually done in trades. So here's a summary of all the stuff that's gone on. So he traded DeAndre Hopkins before he showed how if he was able to be back to it. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Before he was able to see if he was back to his stud self, he traded Etienne right as he was beginning to show signs of a breakout. He traded Amon-Ra. I'm not counting Darren Waller because he's injured. He traded Michael Carter for Juju, Mixon, and Njoku will do as a wash because Waller's now hurt. Mike Williams, who was in the middle of rehabbing a high ankle sprain when he traded for him, and Darnell Mooney. So he went from a top 5 receiver in Hopkins to a wide receiver 2 in Juju. He went from a top 10 running back in Etienne to also a top 10 running back in Mixon. And he went from a top 10 receiver in Amon-Ra St. Brown to a guy that doesn't have an ankle in Mike Williams. And he went from Michael Carter to Darnell Mooney to get a stack with Justin Fields, who now has a separated shoulder and never even liked to throw the ball in the first place because he's a running quarterback. So I guess if you're Ortiz, if you don't make trades, you don't make mistakes like these. But I don't know. I still respect that Charlie was shooting a shot to a certain point, even though he was shooting in the completely inaccurate direction. Yeah. So we'll see. I'm excited to see if there's any crazy stuff that happens down towards the deadline. I love that everyone's fucking shooting their shot and saying, I'm going to go get these players. I'm going to be active. Ross has made bad moves and good moves, but he's going for it. He's got a team. You got to make a play. We're seeing it in the real NFL all the time now. Teams are going all in. Why not push all the marbles in with one player, one deal, etc.? That's what I'm doing. I wanted to go with 2 stud running backs instead of having AJ Brown there, and use upside receivers, especially rookie upside receivers down the stretch, and try and get some high upside plays late, because I think you're going to have to be very, very high scoring team to beat who I think is unfortunately by far the favorite in the league, which is Narduli, because of his Kelsey, Mahomes stack, Tony Pollard. I don't even want to talk about the rest of the team. It's honestly a really, really good fucking team. I think I can beat him. I think a couple other guys have a chance because of some very high upside teams. But it's going to be a hell of a playoffs. We'll see if there's any more trades. So the other guys besides Ross that I respected that have made trades a lot. Sedano's made very, very smart trades. Marsh, you have to respect that he appreciates the studs. Tony's been sketchy with a lot of moves, but I think that's pretty par for the course for him. Anyway, we're coming up on 10 minutes. That's it. Send it back to Marsh. See you boys another time.
Hello, Gentlemen's Club. It's Tony Marullo with the recaps. No Brian, Tony. Good trade-off. What I've been trying to do is just pretend that I'm happy, even though I'm very, very sad inside after this past week. Pretend you're happy, don't be sad. Let's see how that works. So Brian reached out to the group, reached out to the league, and asked who would like to be a part of the show. I was ready to take that on. I was ready to take on this week. I had extremely high hopes. I was so excited. We knew what happened, but let's get into everyone's matchups. We will start with Poo Kaka versus Kaka Poo. Brian's Ryan versus Paydirt FFC. Still don't know what Paydirt FFC is. And the Kaka Poo beat Poopa Kaka 91-80. Both these teams are really bad. Let's see what I like. Ooh, Daryl Henderson, 0.9. That sucks. You had a guy that scored negative 0.6, Kevin. Not good. Not good. Negative 4 for the Lynch's defense. Terrible. Gross. Don't even want to look at it anymore. Let's see what the NFL.com has to say. Paydirt FFC snatches one from Brian's Ryan, climbs to 11th place. Must feel real good, Lynch. 11th place. That's what you strive for in this life. 11th. On to the next one. Darnold Palmer versus Club Sundays. Charlie's team's fraudulent. I've been saying this, and it's showing itself. 85 points for him. Joe's team's very good. He traded his way. He drafted a good team, but also traded his way to an even better team. It's a scary team. I know he, more than anyone, probably liked that I lost this week because it was really looking like shaping up to that 8 seed, but I digress. Let's see. Let's look at this matchup here. Look at that. 27 points for Mahomes. He had a guy that scored 0 points, and he still had 154. Travis Kelce with 35. Pollard with 36. Let's look at Charlie's piece of shit. Oh, he's still rolling out Drake London, huh? I like to see Mooney getting back into lineups. I bet Ortiz wishes he got that guy back. I feel like he got bullied into dropping him, which makes us all feel good. The Mooney Tunes? Oh my God. He named his team after it. Oh, I'm not even at Ortiz yet. Club Sundays buries Darnold Palmer's for 7th straight win. Must feel good. Charlie, that sucks. You are with me at the 4-7 range. Not a range you want to be in, but we're not out. We're not out. We got a fighting chance. All right. Victims of the night versus the Steens. Johnny, you should have been trading all along. Your trades have been working out for you. I don't know why you were, you're too busy, run your own business. I shouldn't give you that much credit. I wish I didn't say that. The Steens. Marsha's nervous. Marsha's very nervous, as he should be, because I think his team is fraudulent. He was missing 2 of his best players today. I'll give him that much. Let's see. I mean, I like the cut of Johnny's jib of his team. His team's pretty good. I think he has a good shot at making the playoffs. The fact that he jumped me this week in the standings because of my loss really hurts. So I got a lot of work to be done. Brian just barely holding on to a playoff spot. He could get bounced. And that's would be natural for him. So let's see how that works out for him. All right, Debo's bike rentals. That motherfucker. That rest. People got to give it to you, man. Everyone was expecting the worst after that trade. I didn't think it was that lopsided. It was unfortunate, all the news that came out like directly after it. That's why on an NFL Monday, all the news comes out after like injuries, who's taking whose jobs, and I felt like, all right, I need to make a trade before shit starts rolling downhill. And you made that trade that everyone thought you got killed in, and you put up 142 points. Thanks to the Pats defense. A little alone. Get mad. The only person I fucked was myself, so I hope everyone's happy. Not gonna be in the fucking playoffs. Fuck. Yeah, so he played. It makes me so fucking angry that Spencer's team is 7-4. I think my team is way better than Spencer's. I don't think his team is 7-4 worthy. Debo's bike rentals, on the other hand, he's he's got a good team. He's got Devontae Adams. He's got T. Higgins. He's got Debo. Juwan Johnson. He didn't even need Goddard. And then the Pats D, 17 points. You would have liked to have them in your lineup. I mean, looking at Spencer's team, he doesn't have a startable running back. It makes me so angry. How is this 7-4? How is that going to make the playoffs? Fuck me. Let's see. Tokyo Knights, Weston. I'm going to hate you so much these next couple weeks. You'll never meet someone who hated you more than I will these next couple weeks. I'm rooting for your downfall. I'm rooting for your downfall harder than Conboy wanted his correct spike ball net. Versus Opium FC. I always think, I keep thinking Eric's team is great. Oh, wait, he won this week. Never mind. But I feel like his team is better than his record. He won this week. That was good for all us lowlifes at the 4-7 mark. Wesson, we're rooting for your downfall. We're going to show up in the middle of the night, wherever you're living nowadays, and we're going to use the thumbprint, or we use your Face ID. Do this while you're sleeping. Bing. Sit. All the good players, play. All the bad players. There's going to be some foul play. Might be some text messages to try to get in your head. Fuck you, buddy. Let's go into what I see, what I like. 19 points, Commanders defense from Mike. Fuck you, Mike. Olave, good game for Eric right there. Pickens, oh my God, I gotta write that down. I got a good one for you guys. Hold on. Okay. All right. Jalen Hurts, I love that guy. He's been great. Eric, you got a good team. Should be confident heading into the playoffs. All right. Mormon Soakers, 127 for the guy. I hated his trade that he made. I mean, especially that it led to my downfall if Christian had CeeDee Lamb and I had Stephon Diggs in instead of Stephon Diggs, I would have won. Thanks, Ian, for feeling like you needed to trade him, even though you're fucking in no man's land. But you pull a 127 out of your ass and you beat a top seed. Oh, and James Ortiz, you little fucking suck. You suck. Oh, man. I'm laughing because it's coming from the bottom of my heart. I like Ortiz from the months of January to August, and then fantasy football season, I won't talk to him. And when I do talk to him, I get extremely pissed off. Retweet if you agree. Kirk Cousins only gets you 2 points. You got Jamal Williams going off. You got your kicker get 21. How about that? Looking at your team. You're a team Ortiz. You should be worried. It's not going to amount to anything. You might have got excited for a little bit, but that's nothing. All right. Nice win, Ian. Everyone liked to see that. Get yourself in the mix. Who knows what can happen? You're in 13th, but a bunch of 4-7 teams, so we'll see where that lands. Last up, I mean, made this a lot about myself, but rightfully so, because this was just a loss that really hurt you. Jerick McKinnon, I hate you more than Mike Weston. I hate you more than James Ortiz. I hate you more than I hate you. Jerick McKinnon. You fucking asshole. You can't hold on to the fucking ball, you dickhead. So I wanted to break down all the ways that I fucked myself. So trading the Pats D in that trade, because I thought I needed a receiver, because I had about 5 players on bye. If I picked up any random receiver and kept the Pats D, I in that flex, instead of Flex and Thielen, I would have won. This week, I also dropped my kicker that I had all week, Carlson. I picked up Nick Folk. I thought he'd been awesome. If I kept Carlson and never picked up Nick Folk, I would have won. In the trade, in the loan trade that everyone liked, it was Pickens. So Rass said either pick Pickens or Thielen, your choice, and I picked Thielen. If I picked Pickens, I would have won. And then I just did a little math here. If I just never made the trade with Rast, if I did not play a running back, 2 running backs and a quarterback, I would have won. So that's how you fuck yourself. You think you're outsmarting everyone. You're like, let's see what moves I can make. Let's see how I can get myself in the mix. Let's see how I can win myself a championship. And you just shoot yourself in the foot. I'd like to blame Jerick McKinnon. When you put him in the lineup, you're just asking for a fucking failure. But it's really yourself. Marsh, thank you for the time. I appreciate it. I appreciate you reaching out to the group. This was a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Kicking it to you, Rast.
Thanks for that, Tony. Gentlemen, welcome to your third segment of Rival Recap Show. John Rast filling in for our gracious host, Brian Marsh. Just want to give a quick shout out to Brian Marsh. First and foremost, for putting this on every week. It is hard. This is like my 9th take. I forgot Spencer and Charlie's matchup in my first 8, so this one's just gonna have to work. Secondly, for as an employer and CEO of the Rival Recap Show organization, just want to thank Brian again for standing by me during this time of controversy. I was concerned that the mob might cancel me and have my segment off air, but he did stand by me, and that's why I'm here today. I'm just really glad he was able to kind of have a level head and let the truth play out. I will say one thing about that ongoing situation, as I'm still waiting for legal and our commissioner to get back to me, is that the Jets and the Ravens are having a hell of a year. I mean, I think the Jets might be the best 6-4 team. Little QB switch up, get the momentum going back into them after a tough game last week. I think they got a real chance to win that AFC East. That's very competitive. And then for the Ravens, I mean, there's just absolute wagon. I mean, when they wear black, put the house on them. I think they might go undefeated the rest of the year. A little bit of a challenge in Cincinnati, I think, towards the end. But greener pastures ahead for both of those teams, and I'll be excited to watch them in the playoffs. Moving on to the weekend previews. That's why we're here. That's why I have a job this week. Going to try and do my best and read my handwriting. So we have Marsh 4, Borelli with 3. Close match up there all time. Playoff implications. Borelli throwing out 70 points last week. Marsh with a tough loss, I believe. So they're both going to be pretty hungry. Also, it's kind of tough to do any sort of like team building, like team predictive, like, oh, well, who's going to win this? Because it's the trade deadline week. And Marsh texted me at like 9:36 and was like, hey, do you want this guy for this guy? And then 4 minutes later, traded the guy he offered me. So I didn't even get a chance to respond. He's moving fast and furious. Maybe some other guys are too. Tony Lamb 3-3 all time. So looking for that tiebreaker and some bragging rights going into to next year. Lamb looking to climb out of the cellar there, stringing some points together. JT's looking good. Tony looking to do a little bit better than last week with the 70 points. I hate to see my trade partners fall. I like to believe I'm delivering an equitable trade, and we both end up better after it. But just a tough week. I think the guys I gave him did all right, but just not what you want to see after you think you've arrived at a mutual agreement. But moving on, Eric. Johnny up 4-2. Another intriguing matchup. I think this is the matchup of the week. If there was a college game day, it would be in New Jersey for the weekend for sure. Johnny stringing together a lot of points in the last couple weeks. Eric, been at the top of the leaderboard all year. And then you never really want to go down. I feel like 3 is like going down 3 games all time against a guy is pretty tough. So Eric will be looking to avoid that. Next matchup, it's myself and Mr. Ortiz. My only 2-2 matchup going into the week. I have a couple 2-2s now. But Ortiz and I played Week 14 last year. Huey, what you doing? You good? You want to come say hey? Thanks, buddy. Yeah, thanks. Say hi to the guys. All right, can you sit? Thank you. All right, there's Hootie Rast, also co-hosting with me this week. Battle of the Black and White Dogs. Me and Ortiz both have black and white dogs. So there you go, the Dog Bowl. Joe and Lynch. We've got Joe 4, Lynch 2. I kind of think of like our games with like when we have the freaking projections or whatever. I'm like thinking like I always think like CNN, like how many points do they need before we just like, all right, there's no way that's gonna happen. This is like San Francisco County in California, aptly for Joe. I feel like Joe needs like 5 points and then like we can just call it. But this is why we play the games. It's not points for. It's not who has the most names wins the league. It is it's who wins the championship. It's got to be the best one week in, week out. This is also my neighbor's dog, Rudy. He's like a freaking horse, so he will not be jumping up. But next one we have here, Ian Weston. Ian up 4-1. I mean, that's some tough domination. But you know, Ian's a handsome, smart, intelligent guy, so no surprise that he has an upper hand in some matchups here. Weston definitely looking to get back in the playoff run, and Ian looking to string together a surprising run here at the end. That'll be interesting. Is that a Newcastle Bowl? I'm not sure of all the different bowls, but probably gonna get fired after this for not knowing that. Last matchup here, Spencer Charlie 3-3, the Jets Bowl. Spencer, tough week last week, but I think the young Esquires have what it can. I mean, there's just a lot of momentum on that team. I don't see it for Charlie. Charlie's been making trades. Spencer's been making trades. So honestly, who knows what these teams look like by the end of the week? But a lot of interesting. Only one runaway head-to-head matchup here, so a lot of bragging rights at stake. Looking forward to this weekend. It's also college football rivalry weekend, so I might just be like clinically depressed for the rest of the season. Thankfully, the trade deadline will be passed, so I won't be able to be taken advantage of in my weak state if South Carolina gets destroyed by Clemson. With that, pass it on over to Safe Space and Mr. Joe Narduli.